Well, it's been a while, but I finally finished this Sun distributor machine. As you can see, this is the phenolic board. There's capacitors across that connect to these little fingers. That's for the speed adjustment. We don't need that anymore, and so you have to remove the capacitors. This is the finger contact for the center post. This is the contact that feeds up the LED power, and it looks like a lot of wiring, but it's really fairly simple. Got the module right here. This transformer supplies an isolated voltage for the TAC and dwell meter, and there's a 12-volt power supply that runs everything. I like to put a power strip in so everything can run separately. Normally when you turn on the motor, it turns on the electronics. I like to have all the electronics turn on so you can manually do things with it. This lamp right here, it's an 1157 brake light. The two contact pins, I bring wires out. That is the load on the points. It's about an amp. Keeps them clean, and also gives you a little visual for when the points close. And down here is the little module that supplies 18 volts or 17 volts, depending upon how bright you want the LED to be. I just put a new style of LED in this, and I'm running it at 17 volts, just a little under 17 volts. There's really not that much wiring, but everything that was in here is now gone. So here's the machine. The LED is underneath this little strip of metal. You can see the little white there. And one side goes to ground, and the other side goes over to the contact points. There's two little wire cable clamps here, some heat shrink tubing. Now normally I remove the washers because there isn't this big mass of the phenolic board and the tube there. But this is something I haven't seen before. At the factory, evidently they tighten this down too tight. You can't tighten it down, and you can't loosen it up, so I can't get those washers. I'm going to have to come back and grind that off to get rid of these weights. But the balance doesn't seem too bad on it right now. So this cover is over here. That'll go back. But let's fire this baby up right now. So we crank it. There's a little bit of a strobe effect, so sometimes these arrows will disappear right now. They're not when you're looking at them, it's just a fact of the camera. We're at about 1,000 RPM, and the dwell is about 22.5. Now if we flip this switch, you'll see there's twice as many arrows. And so if the distributor is rotating counterclockwise, you'll set it up to 360. And that point up there will be how many degrees of dwell you have. You can read it directly. So you always read dwell in the opposite direction of the rotation. Well, that's shaking a bit. I don't know if you can see that. But But I'm definitely going to have to get those washers out so it runs nice and smooth. But the machine's working.